Hey everyone, welcome to week 13 of Alpha 2. We've got some exciting updates to dive into. This week I had a blast with my mage, especially with the blink ability. I also finally got around to trying out the archer. But let me tell you, the road to New Ayla was no walk in the park this week. I even rage quit for the first time in Ashes of Creation. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with the updates. Mages definitely got some love this week. The updates have brought some exciting changes and improvements. Whether it's balance tweaks or just overall enhancements, it's a great time to be a mage. Great news for fighters. Forms will now persist even after logging out. It's a fantastic quality of life improvement that should make your gameplay experience much smoother. Rangers, rejoice! Scattershot's projectiles will now follow the ground, making it much more reliable on uneven terrain. This should significantly improve your accuracy and effectiveness in battle. Tanks are getting a visual upgrade. Several of their abilities now have updated visual effects, making them look even more impressive in battle. This should enhance the overall experience and make those powerful moves feel even more impactful. Good news for clerics. The bug that was preventing the Unyielding Wings of Salvation passive skill from enabling the ability to break disabling effects has been fixed. Another bug fixed to report. The issue that could cause items a character lost on death to also remain in their inventory has been resolved. Several bugs related to caravans have been fixed, ensuring a smoother and more reliable experience for players. The Firebrand event has been relocated further south to prevent it from terrorizing freeholds. Enemies will no longer spawn close to freeholds. This change should make your settlements safer and more secure. The base price calculations for commodities acquired and sold at the same node have been fixed. This should ensure more accurate and fair pricing for your trades. The lighting on darker skin tones has been adjusted to ensure better visibility and representation. This improvement should enhance the overall visual experience for all players. A large number of icons and buttons for gatherables, gear, mounts, objectives, and consumables have been updated. Typos have been fixed, and dialogue has been adjusted to be clearer for a number of quests. A bug that caused glint to be lost when getting change back from purchases has been fixed. This should ensure that your in-game currency is handled correctly, and you don't lose any valuable glint. A bug that prevented characters in a bad state from logging in has been fixed. Now, these characters will be teleported to a different spawn location, ensuring a smoother and more reliable login experience. An issue where testers would sometimes dismount after transferring between servers has been fixed. That was quite the update. I've heard whispers that the next major update is set to drop at the end of this month. I've been spending some time on my mage for a very selfish reason. Well, let's back up. As you know, I am planning on becoming the server's prominent chef. One important step of that is fishing. Fishing will provide sufficient protein for the meals. I am working my way up to journeyman fishing, and am hoping to craft myself a journeyman fishing rod. But in order to do so, I need 20 giant bluebell thread, made by apprentice weavers. One common giant bluebell thread typically goes for 11 silver on the marketplace. I would need 20. Furthermore, this will most likely be the last fishing pole I craft, so I want it to be a good one. So I made myself a mage and started working on her weaving and her tailoring because why not? But you see, tailoring also requires animal skins. My main, the cleric, already has some skill in hunting, seeing how I need the carcasses for meat, but I don't have a tanner. So I made a ranger, and I am officially an altaholic. Like Busy Betty, I need to focus to finish. I need 20 high-quality giant bluebell thread for my fishing pole. My main has plenty of flowers, but currently I cannot send a package of flowers to my alt, a bouquet if you will. If you are truly a solo player, you would have to ask a complete stranger for help. I, luckily, have my husband. My lovely, most wonderful husband was my intermediary between my mage and my cleric. My mage gave a tank ore for his main's metalworking. His tank gave my cleric the ore, and she gave him the flowers and whatever else my mage needed. His tank then traded the goods to my mage. And way later, my cleric gave his main, a fighter, the ore. Look, Intrepid, I know you wish to make this game as social as you can, but seriously, allow us to be able to transfer goods from one character to another, or increase the number of apprentice, journeyman, master, and grandmaster artisans we can have. especially since it takes so many resources to gain a fraction of a level in a chosen artisan. There is a possible workaround. It would include something that is not yet in the game. Let's face it, there is a lot not in the game. I'm talking about guild banks. You will have a way to share your goods between all of your alts. In preparation for this, I created my first guild, 42. Thank you, Hayden, for that. But of course, all of this training, processing, and crafting is rather expensive. I needed some gold. So I hopped on my cleric and finished some commissions for the sweet glint. I stopped by the commodities vendor in Halcyon and drove my caravan to New Ayla. I naively decided to take a new and more public route to New Ayla. I hopped on my raft and took the river down to just west of Lion's Hold, making a quick stop for a willow, of course. I converted the raft back into a caravan, and my husband and I slowly made our way west. I was nearly at the home stretch when 5 full-grown ruffians beat me down and peed on my ashes. Weeks ago, there was a rumor that if the driver of the caravan was in a loading screen, the caravan would be untouchable. So I ran back to the caravan, jumped in the driver's seat, and Alt-F forward. I nervously waited a few moments before logging in, just in time to see my precious Weeping Willow caravan break down. I was a victim of a vicious robbery. These truly are some hard times in Vera. Many of you might have noticed my husband continuing down the road while his wife, the love of his life, the mother of his children, was attacked. Don't think of him as cowardly or a yellow-bellied, spineless Vec. I can assure you he isn't. He stopped briefly while I yelled for him to continue on. I urged him to continue on without me, wished for him to find love again and to take care of our children. All kidding aside, I lost goods worth 5 gold and my Weeping Willow caravan. Luckily, my husband shared some of his profit with me and spent the rest of the weekend farming Weeping Willows to craft another caravan as a replacement. The sudden loss of my caravan is not what caused me to rage quit for the first time during this Alpha 2. Attacking caravans is part of the gameplay. It's what drives some people to play. I understand that. I only have myself to blame, seeing how I wish to take the river, flaunting my goods around highly populated areas. What truly enraged me this week was an ongoing issue that just came to a head. All week, I have been dealing with overly aggressive Brandy's ravens and wolves. These creatures would aggro from far away and follow me for quite a while. Plenty of times, I would stop to attack one, jump off my mount, and suddenly be surrounded. There were so many surrounding me that I couldn't move. Shortly after my caravan debacle, I took the path less taken in hopes of finding a willow tree or two. I came across a huntable creature, jumped off my mount, and quickly died from what felt like hundreds of bites gnawing at my bones. That death still was not what caused me to rage quit. What truly caused me to rage quit happened on my way back to my body. This time, I steered clear of any Grem, Raven, and wolves, and yet, the moment I jumped off my mount, not only was I surrounded, I was also paralyzed. I couldn't jump, I couldn't turn, I couldn't even look around. I quickly unsummoned my mount in hopes of freeing myself. It freed my vision somewhat, but that was all. I died again. That was it. I was done. I logged out and did not sign back on.